Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie, and I am here on the Island Princess. Let me take you on a full ship tour. If you have subscribed and you've seen my other cruise ship tour, I think you're going to be shocked by a couple things here on the Island Princess, especially where the buffet and the fitness center are located. I'll show you. We'll start deck 7 forward with the Princess Theater. This is where the nightly shows took place. We had a good mix of guest performers, the incredible Island Princess Orchestra, and the stage shows. It's a great theater with a lot of terrific sightlines, no big poles in your way, but definitely get there early for the 7:30 p.m. show. Our shows were 7:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. and you want to be there early for the 7:30. Outside on deck 7 is where you're going to find the promenade that goes around most of the ship, but you will be walking underneath the lifeboats. Heading into the Wheelhouse Bar, this was a very popular area in the evening. It's one of the largest wheelhouse bars I've seen, so hopefully you're a subscriber and you've seen some of my other Princess cruise ship tours, so you're going to be quite surprised by the size of this wheelhouse bar, especially since the Island Princess is one of the smallest ships in the Princess fleet. It only has 2,200 passengers. In the evening, we had the incredible glam band as well as a guitar player, and a couple of nights the violin duo made an appearance. Now in this tour, I'm just going to give you a tour of the ship, but if you want to know my full review, definitely click on the link in the first comment or in the description. This is the email I send out to all of my email subscribers. You can sign up for it if you'd like, or you can just access it free as a blog post. Now we're going to head towards the middle of the ship. I love all the old wood paneling. I know this is not in line with all of the fresh, new, modern stylings of the newer ships, but to me it still feels comforting and a little bit of old class. So heading around deck 7, there is this very unique set of elevators here. I'll talk more about later. They don't go to all of the decks. You definitely want to be careful on the elevators on this ship because they don't all go everywhere because of where the kitchens are located. Very popular crooners bar. This had a sing-along piano player in the evenings. It's also a great spot for martinis. If you're like me and like a dry gin martini, they do have the blue cheese olives here. You just have to ask for them. But it got pretty lively in the evenings with a lot of the great sing-alongs. Heading across the way, we're going to find the Churchill Lounge. This is one of the unique smoking lounges on the Princess ships. This one is not in the casino. It's its own separate lounge here on deck 7 next to Crooner's Bar. It's very nice, beautiful set of windows. You can smoke cigars as well as cigarettes in here. It's open throughout the entire sailing. You don't have to be in the casino to smoke. Coming back around, you'll notice that it was an open air atrium, and you also can find different entrances to the promenade deck here. You have that large map there on the left hand side if you have any questions about the itinerary. So these different boards around the ship have different information. So some will have the upcoming schedule. So for the different activities on board, you can see this one here to the left has a cruise ship map. So if you're trying to get somewhere or locate something, you can find it there. If you have a special event, a conference room event, or maybe you're even getting married on board, the Hearts and Mind conference room may be a good spot for you. Now on the other side of the ship, so we've kind of walked around the ship here, the Hearts and Minds conference room is on one side. This is on the other. We're going to find the small art gallery section. Now they did have those daily drawings to guess the weight of the sculpture. There were also art auctions while on board. They did change up the displays now and then, which was very nice. So if you enjoy art, that's going to be a good place to stop by on deck 7. Here in Sabatini's, we're going to find the Italian specialty restaurant. This is an extra charge. Reservations are highly recommended, basically almost required. You can make those in advance using the Princess Medallion app. I highly recommend downloading the Princess Medallion app prior to boarding. This, you're going to be able to use the Dine My Way option to make reservations for both the included dining as well as the specialty dining. Coming down the hallway, we're going to find the Bayou. This is a very unique offering on the Island Princess. It's a New Orleans themed specialty restaurant. You can only find it here, and we really enjoyed it. We thought the food was fantastic. It had a good New Orleans flair, and it was nice to have something different than the standard steakhouse. Now, I know some of you are going to be very disappointed not to have the steakhouse, but I really enjoyed it. The rest of deck 7 is cabin, so we are going to head down to deck 6.
Heading down to deck 6, we're going to find another board, but this is one of the big surprises. So when I was talking about things are in weird places on this ship, the first thing is the fitness center. The fitness center is located in the middle of a group of cabins on deck 6. It definitely looks like they took a bunch of interior cabins and then converted them to the fitness center. It's nowhere near the spa and it doesn't have any windows, which I think is so interesting. They do have a robust fitness schedule because some fitness classes are included in their Princess Plus and their Princess Premier packages, which you can add on to your cruise. But it does have a nice studio for the fitness classes. It does have a good set of equipment. If you do want to get your workout on, it offers a wide range of classes, including the spinning and the TRX. But it's just in a really weird place here in the middle of cabins on deck 6. All right, coming on deck 6, these chairs are a perfect spot if you're on a scenic sailing and want to just enjoy those beautiful views. They're right here outside of the Explorer's Lounge. Again, if you've seen my other Princess tours, you know the Explorer's Lounge is a standard lounge on the Princess cruise ship. So it has the large horseshoe-shaped bar as well as a lot of chairs and tables. We had a great party band that played here. This was also where there was evening game shows every night at 8:30. So your typical, marriage game show. We had some fun music trivias. This also was where the Platinum and Elite party was located, here in the Explorer's Lounge. I love this tile. I don't know. What do you think? All right, heading down the hallway past the Explorer's Lounge, we're heading towards the front of the ship now. We're going to find the photo gallery. So usually those screens are unfolded and you can see all the pictures that have been taken on board. They do offer free photo options. They set up different photo opportunities throughout the ship in the evenings, and then they also came around on the decks during scenic sailings or as you're getting off the ship in each port of call. They'll take your picture for free. Then you can review the pictures in the Princess Medallion app or on the printed photos that they hang up. This is right next to the casino as well as the Effie shop. So the casino is pretty small, which makes sense. It is a small ship. The slot machines were a bit dated. They didn't have any of the latest, ones with all the fun bonuses. But we had a good time playing, and they did have a good selection of table games. You can also find your medallion accessories there that we just passed. And here we are in another bank of elevators. Now, not this bank of elevators, the midship elevators go to the most decks. They go from deck 4 to 15. Other elevators don't go all the places. If you're a shopper, deck 6 is where you're going to want to be. It has a lot of the souvenir shops, clothing shops, jewelry shops. You can see the atrium here is a little choppy with where the staircases are located. It's not like the Ruby Princess or the Emerald Princess where you kind of look up. It's kind of hard to see the band from the upper levels. Around the corner from the duty-free shop here, we're going to find the Provence dining room. This is one of the 2 included dining rooms. You can set up a reservation using Dine My Way. Heading down to deck 5, this is where we're going to find the guest services desk. There is a kiosk here in case you need to review your folio. Maybe you're not using the app on the phone. You can also review it on the television in your cabin. There's a nice seating area around here. In the evenings, the piano player would play. Now, this was a different piano player than was in Crooner, so it was more of a classical sound, no singing, just lovely pre-dinner music. Those elevators you see there only go to decks 5 through 8, so that was a little bit confusing. The Captain Circle desk is located down here, as well as the Bordeaux dining room and the Good Spirits bar. So here's just a peek inside the Bordeaux dining room. So here you can see this is that list of these elevators only going from decks 5 to 8. Now we're going to head up to deck 8 so you can see what's up there. So again, the 2 dining rooms are Provence and Bordeaux. Coming out here on deck 8, we're going to find the Internet Cafe. If you have any questions about signing up for the internet program, or perhaps you need to use a computer, you want to head here to deck 8. And then coming around, we'll be able to find the shore excursion desk as well as the Future Cruise Center. So if you book on board, there are additional perks for your future cruises. Across from the Future Cruise Desk, we're going to find the library. Again, the size of this library is so impressive given the size of the ship. We were commenting, it seems like the ships are all getting much bigger, but the common areas and the lounges are getting much smaller. That is not the case here on the Island Princess. Let's head to deck 14 forward to see the Horizon Court Buffet. Yes, I said forward. This is the first cruise ship I've ever been on where the buffet was in the front of the ship. It took me so long to get used to this. It was so odd to not be able to go outside and have that at-facing view after you got your food. So you can see here plenty of tables. The buffet has two different sizes. Now this is the very front of the ship. You're looking out over the bow of the ship. They have the bread station, your drink station. So as a reminder, water, coffee, tea, iced tea, lemonade, and juices at breakfast are included. There's a small little coffee stand at the front of the buffet, or the front of the ship, which I guess is the back of the buffet. See, very confusing. But anyway, here's a glimpse at the breakfast buffet. I tended to order through Ocean Now, which is a tremendous program on Princess where you can have food delivered wherever you are on the ship. A lot of complimentary items, and your drinks package works and covers the drinks that you get delivered to you where you are. But if you want to head up there and see all the different options, there are the juices that were available. The green juice was very good. You have your muesli, your oatmeal, your fruit display, lots of different options available in the morning. They would have both sides open during the busiest time, and then as things kind of either were ramping up or getting ready to close, they would close one side. And then of course you have the hand washing station right as you enter into the buffet. Now we're heading towards the aft of the ship, coming around to the Lido bar on the main pool deck area. So this area was also used for a lot of seating. If people wanted to sit outside after getting their food at the buffet, this is where they would head. You also have the view of the movies under the stars. They played movies during the day and then in the evening as well. And my favorite thing on board, the pizza. I think Princess has the absolute best pizza at sea, and they had some really unique combinations on this cruise. Heading up to deck 15, we have the burger bar right above the pizza. You can also get tacos, pulled pork, hot dogs, in addition to hamburgers. And then you have another bar up there. So here's a full view of the main pool deck. You see the 3 jacuzzis as well as the large pool area. Now, if we walk around kind of the back, again, towards the front of deck 15, you're going to find some more sun lounger areas. And then there's a staircase leading up to what's called the splash pool. So up here, you're going to find a very shallow little splash pool. Now, we were on a Baltic sailing, so it wasn't open because most people weren't outside enjoying the weather, but I think it's just kind of a fun added thing there. Now, those stairs will take you down to the front area of the buffet, or you can walk around here and explore the bow of the ship. But let me know in the comments, would having the buffet be all the way at the front of the ship throw you off too? Because it was we usually say fun in the front, food in the back, meaning, you know, the theater's always in the front and the buffet's always in the back, but I couldn't use that on this cruise. So walking around on deck 15, we're going to find more areas for sun loungers, some kind of hidden areas here off to the side. The Platinum Studio, this is the studio where you make an appointment and they have more portraits of you and your family. A little bit higher end than just kind of walking around to the setups around the ship that are included. Now we're walking around the top here. You can use this as a jogging track or a walking track here on deck 15. And we're going to head in to see the indoor pool. Now at first we thought this was an extra charge area because it's so nice, but it's not. This is just the indoor pool that's available to anyone. A nice set of table and chairs. And then you have 2 more whirlpools as well as a regular pool. It looks like this can be uncovered, but obviously during our Baltic sailing, it was covered the entire time. Again, big Asian influence here. We think the Island Princess was originally designed with a lot of Asian influences in mind. And in fact, the Island Princess did the World Cruise this year. So we were on the second sailing after the World Cruise, which was kind of fun. So walking around again towards the back of the ship, or the aft of the ship, we are going to find center court, which is your pickleball court, your basketball court, whatever they have set up for the different games. You'll also find your shuffleboard as well as your huge chessboard, though we didn't see any big chess pieces out there. It was quite windy during our sailing. And then continuing to move around, we're going to find the sanctuary. Now this is an extra charge area. You book your entrance into the sanctuary by the day. You have the option of reserving chaise lounge chairs or these larger cabanas, these multi-purpose cabanas. It cannot be booked in advance. You have to book it right when you get on board. There is a lot of demand on warm weather sailings for this area. Hopefully you're a subscriber, so you saw my review of the Regal Princess Sanctuary back in December. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. I share cruise ship tours, reviews, all-inclusive resort tours, as well as exclusive excursion reviews. Heading back to that indoor pool, we're going to head downstairs to take a closer look. So now we're on deck 14. I love these padded loungers. This is one of my favorite spots to hang out on board, just watching the Baltic Sea sail by. They did have waiter service if you wanted to get a drink, or you could sit here at the bar in this nice, quiet, calm area. Now, the weird thing is directly behind this pool is the spa. So you can walk around the outside, or you can kind of go in this back door. And if you turn left, you can find a woman's sauna. This is so odd. It has a small locker room and then entrance to the sauna. Now, the men's sauna was completely blocked off. I couldn't figure out how to get there, but the women's sauna, you could kind of sneak in this back door. I don't know if it's allowed, but I was able to get in there pretty easily. You kind of walk through the back of the spa. Now, again, you can walk around the outside if you don't want to do this, but the door opens and then you'll pass by the beauty salon. The beauty salon was a really big size. Again, for this size of ship, it was quite large. And you have the relaxation area. So this is the area where they would call you to go get your massage. And then along the side of you is still the beauty salon. So manicures, pedicures, hairstyles. And then you actually get to the proper front of the spa where you would check in. So if you keep walking, so these are the aft elevators, just to give you a sense of where we are. So there's the Lotus Spa on one side, and then if you keep going aft, you're going to find the teen lounge. And again, it's in a weird spot, just like the fitness center. It's like they took a group of interior cabins and converted them to the teen lodge. Now, there was kids inside, so I can't show it to you, but this is the beach house area where the teen programming for 13 to 17-year-olds is located. Now, if you're looking for the younger kids, you're just going to go down a deck, deck 12, right next to the laundromat. So I want to give you a peek inside at the laundromat. It's $3 to wash, $3 to dry. You just charge it to your medallion. They do have soap if you need it. That actually you need coins for. Then right next to the laundromat, you're going to find the kids clubs for the younger kids. Again, so weird. Looks like they converted some interior cabins. You have the tree house for ages 3 to 7, and then you have the other activities as part of Camp Discovery for the older kids, split up in or 8 to 12. And they'll let you know how many kids are on board. Now let's take a look at my cabin, a mini suite. Welcome to Dolphin 324 on the Island Princess. Coming in, you have this nice little stand here. That's where we keep all of our papers and our medallion. So as a reminder, you get a medallion when you board on Princess to make your experience a little more seamless. And then it has it's kind of a walk-in closet with the shelves. I love this. It's right outside the bathroom. It's one of my favorite setups in all the cabins we've been in. And then you have your safe and a bunch of shelves for all of your clothes. The bathroom is standard. You have a few shelves, which is great. The sink, the toilet, and then a bathtub. If you saw my other video on a mini suite, this shower head was much higher, which is a lot better, but this shower curtain was a disaster. There's some airflow in here that makes the shower curtain blow into you while you're taking a shower. It's not great. Then up here, you're gonna have your life jackets, room for storage. Here's the 2 twin beds. We have them pushed together. That gives you a nightstand on either side with 2 drawers. The outlets are going to be right here by the desk. So you don't need a extension cord as long as the person who has the CPAP sleeps on this side of the bed. But lots of good storage here. You have your hair dryer from the 1980s. Then more storage here. There's actually there's TVs that used to be up here. They've been replaced by these nice bigger screen TVs. So there are plugs up here. You can see it there, one plug there. Then you have your mini fridge. This is not a medical mini fridge. If you need to keep medication cold, you definitely want to request a medical mini fridge. You have your sofa that turns into a bed, table and chairs, more storage, and another outlet up there. Then you have your chairs, and then outside you're going to find your balcony. It's a nice large balcony. Welcome to the Baltic Sea. And you have, let me show you, little footstools that come with it to make it more of a lounger. But a reminder, these mini suites are not private. Everybody above you can see you. So that's Island Princess. What did you think? How many days do you think it would take you to get used to having the buffet
all the way in the front. I'll let you know in the comments how long it took me.